Suzy and Friends with Suzy Cato. Zealand's favourite kids podcast.
This is Suzy and Friends
with Suzy Cato.
Right across Aotearoa, New Zealand and the world, it's Suzy and Friends. Kia ora e hoa. Hello, my friend. I'm Suzy Cato.
And I'm Trevor. Kia ora, and thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a good day.
As usual, we're going to start with a brain teaser. A little question to tickle your mind and get your brain buzzing. And this week's brain teaser was sent in by the Malo whānau. Let's see if you can work out the answer, eh? Trevor's going to have a go too. Whakarongo, listen carefully. Which musical instrument doesn't belong on this list? Trumpet, flute, violin, harmonica, and tuba.
Oh, trumpet, flute, violin. What else, Suzy?
Harmonica and tuba. Here's a clue. There's nothing tricky about this brain teaser. Just tell me the odd one out.
Okay, trumpet, flute, violin, harmonica, tuba.
Which one do you think is the odd one out? What do you think, Trevor?
Okay, I think the harmonica is the odd one out because all the others are found in an orchestra, but I don't think a harmonica is.
Good answer. You might be right. I don't think I've seen a harmonica in the orchestra, but it's not the answer I've got here. According to the Malo whānau, the odd one out is the violin, because all the rest are instruments you blow into.
Oh, of course.
Did you get the right answer? Well done if you did, 10 out of 10. But if you chose harmonica for the same reason as Trevor, how about you can have 5 out of 10?
Thank you, Marlowe family, for sending that brain teaser in. And if you know a brain teaser, please email it to us, suzy@suzy.co.nz.
Use that email if you'd like to send us in a joke too. We love hearing new jokes. You might even get your joke on the podcast. Okay, here's what's on Suzy and Friends today.
8-year-old Zara plays our game 7 Questions. Codi is back with Cool to Kōrero. And Suzy reads the story Celia, the Seagull and the Plastic Sea.
There are fun facts about bikes, the best 3 jokes of the week, and young Jashika tells us about a cool dinosaur book.
The jokes are coming very soon, but first let's play our game with no prize. What's that sound? He aha tērā tangi.
Listen carefully and guess the sound. We'll play the sound a few times during the podcast. We'll give you a clue a little bit later. And at the end of Suzy and Friends, we'll give you the answer. If your answer is the same as ours, you can give yourself a pat on the back for being so clever. You ready? Here it comes.
What's that sound?
He aha tērā tangi. What's that sound? Is it easy or is it hard? Do you know it? Do you have no idea? Well, like I said before, we'll play it again for you and give you a clue a bit later.
Okay, time for a triple treat of jokes now. Here's Elodie, Charlie and Willow.
One day at school, a boy put up his hand and asked to go to the toilet. His teacher said, "Yes, but first you have to recite the alphabet." The boy agreed and started. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Then the teacher said, "Hang on, where's the P?" The boy replied, "It's running down my legs." What are Dad and Grandpa's filled up with and afraid of?
Oh, that's a tricky one. What are dads and grandpas filled up with and afraid of? Oh, I don't know.
Popping candy. What do you call a chicken on a bicycle?
I don't know. What do you call a chicken on a bicycle?
Meals on wheels. You're listening to Suzy and Friends with Suzy Cato.
Thanks, kids. Awesome jokes, Elodie, Charlie and Willow. This is Suzy and Friends in a podcast with Suzy Cato and Trevor. And Willow's joke featured a chicken on a bicycle. So this week we thought we'd do fun facts about bikes.
Fun facts. Fun facts. Fun facts.
Fun fact 1. The first bike was invented over 200 years ago by a German called Karl von Drais. His invention had handlebars for steering and 2 wheels, but no pedals. You had to kind of scoot along using your legs, like those bikes you get for little kids, those balance bikes. Fun fact 2. You've probably heard of a tandem, a bike for 2 people. Well, the longest tandem cycle ever made seated 35 people, and it was more than 20 metres long. Whoa! Fun fact 3. On a bicycle, you can travel 3 times faster than you can walk, using the same amount of energy. And that's Fun Facts for today.
Thanks, Suzy. Hey, Suzy,
Yes, Trevor?
why can't a bike stand up on its own?
Oh, I don't know. Why can't a bike stand up on its own?
Because it's too tired. Get it? Too tired? Jashika's here soon to tell us about a dinosaur book she read last week, but right now, Suzy's going to read us a book. What's the story called, Suzy?
This is called Celia Seagull and the Plastic Sea. It's by Nicole Miller and it illustrated by Lily Uval. Celia Seagull perched on the cliff, eyeing up plastic and watching it drift. Scanning for pieces to weave through her nest, she held her beak high and puffed out her chest. The white waves crashed and the plastic surged. A pink thing surfaced and then submerged. A drinking straw in the undertow, perfect for building her bird bungalow. Down swooped the seagull down to the foam, keeping her eyes on the straw for her home. But just as she gathered the straw in her beak, she noticed a sea creature, tired and weak. Celia Seagull, I'm glad you're about. There's a straw in my jaw and I can't get it out. Silly old turtle, Celia thought. He must be one of the balmy sort. To gnaw on a straw, that's really naive. I'll say that I'm busy and then I can leave. I've actually got quite a lot on my plate. I've no time to help, and I cannot be late. She flew to her nest like a high-speed glider, added the straw, and the nest got wider. What a great nest, she squawked to the sea. A comfortable home, and it's all for me. The white waves crashed, and the plastic surged. A blue thing surfaced, then submerged. A plastic bag in the undertow, perfect for building her bird bungalow. Down swooped the seagull, down to the foam, keeping her eyes on the bag for her home. But just as she gathered the bag in her beak, she noticed a sea creature, breathless and weak. Celia Seagull, I'm glad you're here. There's a tote round my throat, and my lungs need air. Silly old seal, Celia thought. She must be one of the crazy sort. To play with a bag, that's really naive. I'll say that I'm busy, and then I can leave. I've actually got quite a lot on my plate. I've no time to help, and I cannot be late. She soared to her nest like a swift ballerina, added the bag, and the nest got deeper. It's a generous nest for a bird so small. but I like being solo. I don't mind at all. The white waves crashed and the plastic surged. A green thing surfaced, then submerged. Some plastic string in the undertow, perfect for building her bird bungalow. Down swooped the seagull, down to the foam, keeping her eyes on the string for her home. But just as she gathered the string in her beak, she noticed a sea creature, gloomy and weak. "Celia Seagull, I'm glad you've arrived. There's a string on my wing and I'm trying to dive." Silly old penguin, Celia thought. He must be one of the dotty sort. To swim around string, that's really naive. I'll say that I'm busy and then I can leave. I've actually got quite a lot on my plate. I've no time to help and I cannot be late. What foolish sea creatures, she thought with a flap, to get tangled up in the plastic scrap. Lucky I'm clever. Lucky I'm bright. Then she hopped in her nest and prepared for the night. The moon appeared as the sun took rest. Celia looked very small in her nest. All of a sudden she felt quite alone. Her head felt dizzy and her gut made a groan. "I'm hungry," she whispered. "I'm starving. I'm famished." And into the night sky, Celia vanished. Sailing up high and plunging down low, keen for a fish to devour on the go. Then Celia spied something silvery white. "Here, little fishy, I swear I won't bite." Quick as an arrow she ducked in the sea, gulping that white thing whole for her tea. Uh-oh. She instantly noticed a spasm of shock. It felt like her windpipe was having a block. What had she eaten? It wasn't a fish. It was hard and sharp and plastic-ish. "I think I ate plastic," Celia yelped. "Help me, somebody. Somebody, please help." Well, who should turn up to provide first aid? A gracefully styled, outrageous mermaid with rose-tinted specs and a daisy chain veil, paisley bikini and rainbowy tail. The hippiest hipster, the grooviest groover, she promptly began the Heimlich maneuver. Celia coughed like a nauseous baboon, and up came a bile-covered throwaway spoon. "Thank you, my friend, for dislodging that thing," said Celia, offering a grateful wing. "But help is still needed down here, I'm afraid. There's 3 other creatures who need to be saved." First they found Turtle with a straw in his jaw. Celia pulled it out using her claw. Next they found Seal with a tote round her throat. They wiggled her out with a prod and a poke. Last they found Penguin with string on his wing. They untied the rope and then made him a sling. "Come back to my hideaway," Celia said. The creatures agreed and away they fled. They snuggled up close in the generous nest, all winding down for a good night's rest. The mermaid yawned and the turtle coughed. The seal snored and the penguin blew off. Celia smiled as she fluffed her tail feathers. "I hope we will have many more get-togethers." She stretched out her wings to keep everyone covered, content as she thought about what she'd discovered. We should always help when a friend is distressed, and make room for loved ones to rest in our nest. But throwaway plastic should not fill our space. We have just one Earth, and Earth has just one face. If you'd like to find out more about Nicole and Lily, you can visit celiaseagull.com.
This is Suzy and Friends.
With Suzy Cato.
Thanks, Suzy. The title and author again, if you want to look for it at the library, Celia Seagull and the Plastic Sea by Nicole Miller. This is Suzy and Friends, the podcast.
Hey, how are you doing with our game with no prize? What's that sound? He aha te rā tangi. Shall we give it another listen? Okay, here we go. What's that sound? Do you know? Do you need a clue? Have you got a clue, Trevor?
Yes, I do have a clue, and here it is. Little white feathers on its neck. Okay? Little white feathers on its neck.
Good clue, Trevor. We'll play the sound again at the end of Suzy and Friends, and then we'll give you the answer. Now, Jashika got a book about dinosaurs recently. Let's find out what Jashika thought of it.
Hi, it's me again, Jashika. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book Dinosaur Zoo. It's by Michael Bush and illustrated by Andy Knopp. This book is about dinosaurs at the dinosaur zoo. They're looking for food and they love to sing. Michael made another book out of the song she made. This is her and Andy, and this is where you can listen to the book while you read. This book this time is about dinosaurs, and one thing that is similar to the other book I reviewed is that both of them have a goofy quality. My favorite part is when they invite us for lunch and show us what they eat. It's really funny because they like shout it and say, "Ooh, at the dinosaur zoo we eat Vegemite on toast and apple juice." I think kids would love this book because it's very easy to read, it's super hilarious, and it's enjoyable. This story reminds me of Jurassic Park, but just a bit though. But luckily, it's not as scary. I'm Jashika. Hope you enjoyed my review of Dinosaur Zoo. It's by Michael Bush and illustrated by Andy Knopp. Hope you listen to the song and see ya.
Thanks, Jashika. This is Suzy and Friends with Suzy Cato, that's me, and Trevor, and that's him. Soon Trevor chats to Zara and plays the 7 questions game. But now, here's Codi with Cool to Kōrero.
Kia ora, ko Codi tēnei. And today, a phrase you might hear on Suzy and Friends quite often. When our friends read a cool story, or have a funny joke, or send us a cool email, we like to say, good job, but we usually say it in te reo Maori. We say, ka pai tō mahi. Can you say ka pai tō mahi? Let's give it a go. Let's start with ka pai, which means good. Repeat it after me. Ready? Here we go. Ka pai. And again, ka pai. And now, tō mahi, your work. Repeat after me. Tō mahi. Okay, now let's say the whole phrase. I'll do it first, and then you repeat. Here we go. Ka pai tō mahi. And again, ka pai tō mahi. Good job, ka pai tō mahi. And that's cool to kōrero for now. Practice ka pai tō mahi, and I'll talk to you again soon. Ka kite e hoa.
Kia ora, Cody, and we'll have more Cool to Kōrero in the next Suzy and Friends podcast.
Hey, Trevor.
Yes, Suzy?
What do mice do when they're at home?
I don't know. What do mice do when they're at home?
Mousework.
Mousework.
And a big thanks to Evie for emailing us that joke. And if you have a joke you'd like to share, email suzy@suzy.co.nz. The answer to What's That Sound is coming soon. But first, Trevor's talking to Zara.
Hi, it's Trevor here with Kids Just Like You. Today I'm with a friend called
Zara.
Zara. How old are you?
8.
What's your favourite colour?
Pink.
What's your favourite game?
Barbies.
What do you like about Barbies?
You can do the hair.
Have you got a favourite book?
Tilly and the Book Wanderers and the Primrose Railway Children.
2 favourite books. Very good. What's your favourite food?
Fruit.
Fruit. Okay. And what's your favourite fruit?
Apple.
What do you think is the best thing about going to school?
Play with my friends.
And who's your best friend at school?
Aurelia.
And what do you like about her?
She's kind.
Do you have a special talent? Something you can do that you're really proud of?
I can do a flip on a bar.
Wow. Where did you learn that?
I taught myself.
Was it at the park or at school?
At home.
What's a good thing to do on a rainy day?
Painting.
What sorts of things do you like to paint?
Flower pots.
What's the most fun you've ever had?
When I went camping with my cousins.
Camping with your cousins, and where did you go?
The Blue Lakes.
What did you do there?
Ran around and played games.
One last question. What is your favourite New Zealand native bird?
Kiwi.
Good on you. Thank you for talking to me, Zara. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Zara. It's always interesting how much you can discover about people with only 7 questions, isn't it?
Yes, and Zara gave some excellent answers, didn't she? She's a very thoughtful kid. I wonder how she'd do with this week's What's That Sound? He ahateratangi. How did you do? Have you got the answer? Shall we do it again? Yeah, let's do it. Here we go. What's that sound?
Do you know? We gave you a clue before, didn't we? It was little white feathers on its neck. Here comes the sound one last time. And the answer is a tui. The tui is a beautiful native New Zealand bird. Congratulations if you got it right. And if you didn't, well done for giving it a go. There's another What's That Sound, the game with no prize, on next week's Suzy and Friends.
Thanks to Codi for Cool to Kōrero. Thank you to Elodie, Charlie and Willow for the jokes.
Thank you, Jashika, for telling us about the book Dinosaur Zoo, and to Zara for playing 7 questions.
Kia ora, Nicole Miller, for letting us read her story Celia Seagull and the Plastic Sea, and thanks to the Marlow whānau for the brain teaser.
Thanks to our friends at New Zealand On Air, the RNZ whānau, and thanks the most to you for listening.
And if you'd like to send us a joke, a brain teaser, or any ideas you have at all for Suzy and Friends, we'd love to hear from you. suzy@suzy.co.nz. That is the email. Our website is just suzy.co.nz, and that's SUZY. And if you enjoyed Suzy and Friends in a podcast, please like and follow.
On the next Suzy and Friends, a special guest. Marley has a book recommendation, and Codi is back with Cool to Kōrero.
Kia pai tō rā. Have a great day.
Goodbye, my friend. Ka kite.
This is Suzy and Friends.
With Suzy Cato.